Hi there. The Najdorf Stonewall is from Najdorf's 1930 great game with the black pieces against Glucksberg. It's not so much a trap, rather perfect salami-like exploitation of an inaccuracy as black gets decimated slice by slice. It's in the Dutch defence, the Stonewall, d4, f5, c4, knight f6, knight c3 and e6. White develops knight f3 and now d5. Black's adopted the Stonewall structure with pawns on the white squares, f5, e6, d5, and presumably the c pawn's going to head for c6 as well. e3 and now, yes, c6. White develops bishop d3, bishop d6, and castles and castles. An extremely common position, and it's at this point that white goes down a rare sideline, the move knight to e2. This is a move not too well thought of. It's been played by Beliansky, but it's a rare sideline. It doesn't really give white too much. Black could play here knight to e4 or switch the queen to e8, the common idea of rerouting the queen to the king side, or as in the game, knight b d7. And it's at this point that white simply makes a blunder. Knight g5, a weak move, and it's from this point that Najdorf starts a salami, slice by slice, decimation of black, starting off with the idea that this knight on g5 is almost under attack if the knight moves. So that can be reached by the sacrifice bishop takes on h2, because if king takes on h2, then knight g4 check is going to pick up the knight on g5. So Glucksberg put the king on h1. That was of no avail. Knight g4 anyway. Now the queen wants to pick up the knight, so f4 defends, but now the queen makes that well-known, well-documented maneuver. Queen e8 heading for h5 in the Dutch. g3 is met by queen h5, and now the threat is moving the bishop with the discovered mating attack. So the king moves out of the h-file, off the h-file with king g2, and several good moves here for black. Bishop g1 is one of them. That's certainly winning. That's square vacations. The queen threatens to invade on h2. Also the e3 pawn is under fire twice. That looks devastating as well. So knight takes the bishop on g1, was met by queen h2 check, sending the king to f3, and now black proceeds energetically e5. That e-pawn is heading for e4, which is going to be checkmate in two moves, so that's got to be taken. D takes on e5. It's met by a sacrifice. Knight takes on e5. That's check, so that knight has to go as well. The only move is to take the knight. Now the other knight from g4 back to e5 is check, sending the king to the only square, f4. The knight reroutes back to g6, the king back to f3, and now f4. That's going to open up the bishop's diagonal, the bishop on c8, as well as opening up the f-file. So nice little nifty maneuver of the knight by Najdorf. And now after e takes on f4, the game is won now after giving up the bishop. Now bishop g4. If the king moves over to the e-file, well, amongst other things, the queen is lost. One of the rooks is going to head for the e-file. That's going to be a mating attack as well. So after king takes the bishop on g4, there's mate here in 2. Now giving up another minor piece, or the last minor piece, knight e5 check, forcing f takes on e5, and now it's always quite pretty to end a mating combination with a pawn, and h5 delivers checkmate. So this has been the Najdorf Stonewall in the Stonewall defense of Stonewall variation of the Dutch defense. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.